Okay, we're looking down a school hallway, aren't we? Hi everyone, it's Paul again, and today I thought I would give you a quick tour of my school, just the primary, not the secondary part of the school, but the primary, and we have 2 levels, so I'll show you those 2 levels. We might even go inside a classroom. But we're gonna start here, and this is the center of the primary. This is what we call the atrium. Here's one door. There's another door on that side over there. This is the atrium. This is our meeting room. Lots of performances are here. Assemblies are here. These seats here collapse to the wall in the back. And we have a lighting room there. Oh, I'm sorry, there's another door. So there's 3 doors to the atrium. There, and we just came in that door over there. There's these side large glass panels also that we can slide open, but they're not usually used. There's one here and there's one here. And upstairs, we will go around the bottom first, but when we go upstairs, you'll see the atrium from the top view. So all of these curtains can be closed and manipulated so that it's all white, you know. Here this is the room I actually teach in this year, and next year I'll be moving to another location. This is fine, but I have to share it with lots of other activities, and that means I have to move things in, move things out. So yeah, we really do need a dedicated space to teach performing arts rather than this atrium. But we have a piano here, we have sound here, we have a lighting, like I said, we have a lighting booth here. So I'm starting in the center. Here's some of my instruments, and I just bring the curtain on top so they're nice and hidden from other people. Okay, so let's go out here, and we will walk around the primary section of the building. That goes up, of course, to the 2nd level. Here we have a kitchen. I'm not sure if this kitchen is going to actually stay this size. It might change. Not sure about that. Here we have a room that's an office for, I think there's an LS teacher, there's 2 music teachers that have an office here. Let's go down this hallway here next to the atrium. Here's a kitchen. This is a pre-K room here. Pre-K and K1. Pre-K and K1 here. Wonderful classroom. So we're walking down here, and here's an open area. And I think really what's going to happen, like I said, this area here that's sticking out in the hallway, this area right here, might be removed. Here's the atrium again. Here we have another pre-K K room, and one more pre-K K. And this room here is a K2. And down here we have the IB coordinator's space, office here. We have some bathrooms for the little ones. And then we have the counselor's room here. Now, I didn't show you this area here because this is kind of a special area. I wanted to save it for last on this leg of the tour. This is another playground. It's brand new just this year. It's always been here, but it's been redone. I should say that. Obviously, our school colors are orange. Orange, and I think orange, black, and white. So everything's got orange to it. And this is for pre-K, K2, K1, only that age group. None of the older children can play in there. It's kind of small anyway. Here, the children have large cubby areas, you know. And it's winter right now, so they're full. Here we have the other side of that room. This is a K2 room here. And then we have this K2 room. Would you like to see inside? Yes? Okay. Let's go inside. I think that's the key. Yeah, that's the key. Right, let's go inside this room here. Very quick, brief look. I'm not really trying to show lots of student names or anything like that. But anyway, here we have a room. This is a K2 room. This is kind of a large room. for our school. The corner rooms are a little bit larger, but this is one of them. And so it's a nice classroom. And all classrooms have glass with electric blinds, so they can go up, they can open, they can go up, they can go down. It's a nice room. Most rooms have also, I think almost all, have a sink. All right. Let's close this. And let's see here. Lock that up. Turn off the light. Good. So this is K2, K2. Here we have nursery. And I do teach nursery up to the age 3. Up to age 3. Here's first grade here. And this is also first grade here. Now, that's the bottom floor. Oops, wait a minute. Here's an entrance and exit out to the playground, which is over there. A bathroom for adults and for students. Actually, we're not really clear about that. We'll be more clear about that later. In a pinch for an adult. Usually students are in there. Okay. Going up the stairs. I'll see you upstairs. So we're outside the school. And this is part of the construction. All of this cover here. And you can hear the water falling from the construction. Real quick. This video is not about the secondary building. Here's the bike racks. Here's the front street. Stubenacker. There's the plans for the campus. And you can see, a lot of construction happening here. During school, that's the key. All of this construction is happening during the school year. And in the middle of classes, some of the teachers that teach below this, there's an art classroom, there's a design classroom. My old classroom was down here. Like those sounds. You hear those all the time because of the construction. Okay. The front of the school, bike racks. Very quick. Most days, I would even say like 99% of the time, I ride my bike to school. I'm about 2 kilometers, a little bit over 2 kilometers. I'll put how much that is in miles here to the school. And so that's how I get to school. And I always put my bike on the bike rack. Here's the entrance to the secondary, and the primary and secondary library will be here. They traditionally are, except for the construction. The teacher's lounge, the big teacher's lounge is over here. Head of schools thing is there, office is there. And really quickly, because we're about to go back into the primary building, the second floor, we have this other building here. And I think right now it's temporary. That right there we call the pavilion. And that's where all the secondary students study. There's a lot of classrooms over there. Because of this construction here in this building, we built this playground on top of we built this building, the pavilion, on top of the playground. That's what I meant to say. Wow. And so they have their classes in there. I'm not sure if that's going to stay much longer than 5 or 8 years. I'm not sure what the plan is for that. It might stay longer. We kind of like it. There's a parking lot in the back, and here's a playground here. I'll take you over here. Here's a look at my bike. Like I said, I ride my bike all the time to get here. Here's the playground. Most rooms on the first floor have access to outside. Back, you see that where the fences are over there, that's for nursery. And, of course, there's a first grade room right here, and they just walk right outside the room. They don't actually have to come down that hallway. Here's the playground. And that, when this is all done and all that's cleared, that'll be part of a playground too. But right now, it's just all construction. And there we have it. Wouldn't that be nice? You see that white wall down there? And this white wall right here? Wouldn't that be nice to have a mural painted? The students painted a mural on that. That idea is, I think, is gaining traction. I think it'd be wonderful for the students to design something like that and kind of make the playground, instead of a ugly white wall, have a mural. Let's think about that. Let's think about that. Okay, so let's go back into the primary building and take a look at the top floor and one of the classrooms up there. Okay? So here we are walking in. Here's the nurse's office. This is one of the first things you see. And this is reception, and there's also an office back there. Here's the bathroom, elevator here. And which way should I go? This way or that way? Let's go this way. Second grade here. It's a second grade room. And you know what? Let's go inside that second grade room, because this is another type of room. It's slightly smaller than the room we saw before. But let's see if we can shed some light on. Lots of rooms are this size. So not that bad at all. Once again, we have the glass wall here with the electronic shutters. We have storage, lots of storage, a sink, and we also have a marker board. And on this side, we have a, I think it's Apple TV or something like that on this side. So most classrooms are set up this way. Okay? Okay, let's keep on going. Oops, let me turn the lights off. Let me turn the lights off here. Let's turn it back on. Okay. All right, that's locked. Good. This is called the Meadows, this area. It's green carpeted. And these gigantic windows onto the atrium. You can see the atrium down there. And these are like cubbies, and students can read here, they can study here. There's these soft chairs and just relax out here. This is a breakout area basically, and it's really nice to have. Here's another second grade room and a fifth grade room. A fifth grade room. I would show you the library, but that's not going to stay there. That's going back to where we were talking about before. Here's another fifth grade room. That's 2. And then we have our third fifth grade room over here. Here's the look at the little mini playground. And then here's some steps also going downstairs to the other level where we were. The counselor's room is down there around the corner. We talked about that. So let's go around. It's just like a big circle that circles the atrium. Downstairs, remember, there are a whole bunch of cubbies, but this is upstairs. So they get hooks to hang their winter clothes and coats and things like that. Here's a 4th grade room here. This is just like downstairs. We went into that room. It's the same. Here's a 4th grade room here. And this is the other side of the atrium. You know, you can see the meadows over there. This is the other part of the meadows, like I said, with the green carpeting. Look at the lighting. Isn't that interesting? 3rd grade room here. Another 3rd grade room here. And there are 3 4th grade rooms, and this is the last one. Yeah, I know it's separated from the other 4th grade rooms. If they don't mind, 4th grade. Upstairs, there are some German classrooms and learning support classrooms as well upstairs. Office here. And we're back to the atrium. From the top, it looks like this. So it's a very, very nice room with the lighting up here. Yeah, it's a very nice room, and we use this an awful lot, which is fine with me. I absolutely love this room, but it is a little bit of a problem just making sure that everything is moved in and moved out when I teach here. So yeah, everyone wants a different setup, so you know, that's just another complication. All right, so that's the primary. Here's our clock. That's the primary building here at ICS. Hopefully, this will help you understand what our school is like inside. I've been shooting outside. If you'd like to see some more videos of our school, look up here, there, and you'll see some of the construction, and you'll see it's kind of quite amazing to actually have construction, major construction, during the school year. It's a little bit crazy, but it seems to be working. Anyway, thank you for coming and clicking on my channel and watching along with me, experiencing what I experienced, and that's what this channel is all about. If you'd like to subscribe, or if you'd like to hit the like button or the bell button to get notifications, please do so. More importantly, please, I'm asking you to comment. If you work at a school, what is your school like? Here's another question for you. If you do not work in a school, but you do sort of work at an institution, something like a school or maybe office building or corporate offices, what is it like to work there? These are questions that we all have to ask ourselves. What are the surroundings like where I work? Is there any way I can improve them, or some way I can make them easier to work in? So, yeah, I work at a school, I always have, and I feel comfortable at a school with the little children and the teachers and the staff and the administration, and that was my chosen profession. So, tell us about where you work, okay? All right, bye-bye. Here's my Burley Travoy. I'm actually here, not to actually show you this tour. It's just something that popped into my mind while I was here. I'm actually here to get my cello, my big cello. It's in this case, it's down the hallway here. So I'm gonna take that home, and I brought my Burley Travoy here and all the hookups to hook up the cello. Okay? All right, bye-bye everyone. Here's the last look down the hallway.